I went through and I found the top viral videos from the top World of Tanks console YouTubers throughout all the years, and I've compiled them into this one video. We're going to go through and watch them and talk about them and see where this game has come. Starting off at number 10, we have Randy the Duck. And this was just from 2 weeks ago. He got 7.7 thousand views on his T249 tank review. We're going to take a look here and see what kind of mayhem he gets up to. It's what you would expect, really. Just a video about the T2. He reviews it, he talks about it, he just pulls it straight into the game, and he shows off some impressive kills. Well, I say impressive, but it's the T2. They're pretty, I guess, toxic, if you know what I mean. We're going to jump to the last replay here because he's got some good magazines here. First, he's got this bat. 1,200 damage. Just like that. Oh my goodness. It's incredible how many shells you can miss and still kill a tank. And dead. Oh my goodness. 5,400 damage in his vigilante. That is his top video, ranked number 10 on this list. 7,700 views in 7,800 views now in just 2 weeks. Zounds. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9, we have the Turkey Tank, who has 15,000 views in his T95 E6 tank review from 4 years ago. Classic World of Tanks. On his, of course, classic intro, where he's playing the LTTB. Let's give it a watch. The Turkey Tank. And he goes through, of course, reviewing the T95 E6. This tank had just come out. It was a reward tank that took a while to grind. He finally got it, showed it off, had some decent games in it, and the rest is history.
And because just like the Chisel, this tank gets 120 millimeter versus the 105 on the patent.
Yes, that's the main difference. The Chisel now, though, with its DPM nerfs, and the T95s with its DPM buffs and alpha buffs and gun handling buffs, whew, this tank is really good. But we're going to watch him do something nasty to someone real quick. Look at that aim time back in the day, though. You can't just snap shots anymore. Or at the time. Now you can.
Fires 7.23 rounds a minute. And yeah, we just erased that 4 sig and like.
Very cool. And he goes on to have a very decent game. Let's see the old end. 6,500 damage, 1,800 assist. The old screen. First class. And that's how the game used to look. Awesome game, awesome video. Let's move on now to number 8. This one is from Petty360. He's got 9.4 thousand subscribers, and his top video has 19,000 views from 1 year ago. It is the Leeman Russ from the Warhammer bundle. Oh boy, an ad. Skip that, and let's get into this review real quick. He goes through the stats, the armor profile, and then he pulls it out for a game. Like a very typical tank review. And he talks about the inconsistency of the armor as he drives around. And that's going to be the game. It's too fast for the slow tank. Moving on to the next one. It's got a Lehman Russ, lower plate, misses. There we go, 5,600 damage, 2,800 damage blocked. The game is not over. You have to wiggle, keep that armor moving. And the game ends. 5,600 damage. Fantastic video quality too. 1080 60 FPS, beautiful. Looks great. Now let's move on to number 7. Cosmic Carry, a classic World of Tanks console YouTuber. 5,800 views. He is the one who sent me the Yahtzee, which we played live on stream 5 or 6 years ago after he sent it to us, and had a great time, and it's a fantastic tank. His #1 video for World of Tanks is his War Stories Brothers in Arms, and what I love about this video at 33,000 views is the fact that it plays through like a movie. It plays through like you're playing it for the first time yourself. He does No weird editing. It just goes straight into it. He has no commentary over it. It goes into the comic. It's read by the narrator, and he plays through step by step by step. And I love it. If you want to experience what War Stories was, one of the greatest additions to World of Tanks console of all time, which was removed for reasons still unknown to me, go ahead and check out his video. All these videos will be linked in the description below if you want to check them out yourself. But look at this. He doesn't say anything, not a word. He goes to the intro, then he goes into playing. Says not a word, no commentary, nothing. Just playing the game, playing the story.
Ready to fire on target. Penetration.
Doesn't need to be flashy.
Locked on. Penetration. Look out, enemy spotted. Ready to fire on target.
Fantastic. At number 6, we have one of my all-time favorite YouTubers, and just kidding, he has no more content on his channel. It was gonna be Swindle321. I don't know if he would have been number 6 or not, but he would have made the list in the top 10 for sure. He has no more YouTube content on his channel. Oh well, that's okay. But let's move on to a different number 6. Number 6 instead, we have Slapafish Jr. And in his video, and you're noticing now a lot of these videos that we're going to get to are very niche, starting with the last one, which was Cosmic Carry. Cosmic Carry's video was very niche, which is why he's got so many views. Slapafish Jr. also has a niche video, which is number 1, in which this was something that people weren't answering, people didn't have videos on. Slapafish finally put a video up on how to enter World of Tanks code, and with it, he got himself 46,000 views, which still go up. Let's take a look.
Get this request a lot, and I know there's a lot of people trying to figure out how to enter codes because there's a lot been given away lately. So to log in, so how you do that is you go to the top right of your screen and go through the steps. So but if you're already logged in, it says enter the bonus code, where it says to enter the bonus code. Then as soon as you do that, you click activate.
Very valuable information there. Again, no one else was doing this because that he net himself. How many views did we say that was? 46,000 views for his top video. Congratulations. Now we're in the top 5. Moving on to number 5, we have Eclipse World of Tanks and his top video. Again, another niche one because no one else has done it. And he goes through talking about World of Tanks settings at 54,000 views. I will have a separate video where I react to this because there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of claims that aren't factual, and so I definitely want to go into and critique this video because he treats all the settings as factual, and you must use these settings if you want to play at your best. And some of them I'm going to definitely go through and with science prove that some of his choices are actually wrong. But let's go into here and see what he's got. Yes, I do. How about 2024? Again, a bold claim. I don't mind him going through the settings he uses and the ones that he says works best for him, but as soon as he starts saying these are the best ones that you have to use, which he just said right there, these are the best, hands down, I've got some problems with it, of course. And one of them, actually, he says to turn off vibration because vibration does not help at all. Like, listen to this, ready?
When you play with this. Getting into the nitty-gritty of the game, well, we have vibration. Turn that off. There is no point in having vibration other than the fact as if you like feeling like it's really responsive, but from a gameplay standpoint, it's probably negatively impacting your game.
Which is actually false. Vibration you want to have on, and that is not an opinion. Of course, there are opinions that you can take into account. For instance, if you just don't like it, turn it off. Sure, turn it off. But from a scientific standpoint, the more senses you can include into your gameplay that will warn you of things, tell you what's going on, the better. Because when you're playing a video game, you have 3 senses you get to utilize. One is sight, one is sound, and one is touch. Those are the only 3. You can't lick and taste your game, and you can't smell your game, okay? So those are gone. So you want all 3 senses, that every sense you can get. If you remove sound, then you don't know when Artie, misses you closely or something bounces off of you and such, or something gets spotted. You have to visually see it in the bottom left of your corner, or it has to be caught somewhere on your screen if a shell misses you or somebody fired. And so that removing sound is obviously a disadvantage. It's the same with feeling. As soon as a shell hits you, you know a shell has hit you because your tank vibrates. If Artie misses you, you know it missed you or it hit close to you because your controller vibrates. You don't want to be removing those settings from your game. You want to have as many senses as possible. And that is just one critique. Again, we're going to go through this whole video sometime and really critique it. But again, he covered a topic that no one else was covering. And because of that, he net himself 54,000 views. It is his most viewed video. And he's up to 18,700 subscribers. Congratulations there. Let's move on now to number 4. And we're looking at Mad Friday TV, the greatest World of Tanks console YouTuber of all time. Hands down. This is, of course, not an opinion, but factual. I'm just kidding. It's just my opinion. And he's made it to the top 5 with a very interesting video, because it wasn't his niche one where he has Hitler Plays World of Tanks, Mad Friday Edit, and it wasn't his crew training guide, which was a very popular one. No, it's still it's simply the IS-7. He just goes, IS-7's still the king. But he was such a great YouTuber that everybody watched it. 64,000 views. People just wanted to see the IS-7. Look at another IS-7 video, 34,000 views. Then down here, IS-7, 21,000 views. Man knows that the IS-7 gets views. And the reason he was such a great content creator is because he was so simple, and he acted like the rest of us. He wasn't flashy. He just posted his stuff. He didn't try to have fancy commentary. He was just so smooth and such a gentleman.
Without showing an IS-7 replay, could I? Because the IS-7 is most definitely the best tier 10 heavy tank in the game. Don't care what anybody else says. I would much prefer to have the British tier 10 heavy as my favourite tank, but until the Chieftain comes out, it's not going to be. Anyway, so this game, I do well, but I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to try and critique myself in this game. And also, there's a few situations at the end, but I only lived through them because the enemy players let me, basically, and I will explain why later on. Lucky to set him on fire, but we killed the Type 61. So where's the Batcher? There he is. Was he clipping? They should have attacked at exactly the same time. They would have killed me dead. So I hit him once. Bounce again. Because he was firing heat and auto-aiming at me, more than likely.
There we go. Finishes him off.
Hit the spaced armor on the side.
Mad Friday, an absolute legend. Love to see his content. Moving on to number 3, we have CloneGuy World of Tanks with 15.9 thousand subscribers. His top video from 5 years ago, where he talks about, again, a niche video, and he does a lot of these. It's me, where 7 tanks you should grind, or you should consider grinding, or you should avoid. And these videos are emphasized that these are just opinions, and you'll see that we've got one here, 46,000 views, another one at 30,000, 29,000. No one else is doing these kinds of videos, and so they're just giving me views, which is really cool. But we go through, and we time this on purpose to have, oh, here's an ad. Get through this ad. Go away, ad. There we go. We timed this video on purpose to be released when Demolition Ranch had just had a sponsored video sponsored by World of Tanks Mercenaries, back when World of Tanks had just become Mercenaries. And so this was my first video I put out after that ad came, and then of course that is why we capitalized on 77,000 views. Tuning into this YouTube channel just because of Demolition Ranch. He had a video sponsored by Wargaming, specifically World of Tanks Mercenaries, and some of you might be looking for some. We're gonna go to the Super Conqueror and just watch what's talked about it. Exactly. Now, this line, yet again, is amazing. Starting at Tier 8, the Tier 8 Carnarvon has the same kind of hull tier for tier and the same kind of turret tier for tier. And so it's going to play almost exactly the same. And then the Conqueror, same exact thing. It upgrades, gets a better hull, gets a better turret, and plays, once again, almost exactly like the Super Conqueror for its tier. And then you get the Super Conqueror at Tier 10, and as stated, plays exactly the same as the other two for its tier. And yeah, it's a phenomenal vehicle for you know, consistency. However, at the lower tiers, you get the Churchill 1, the Churchill 7, and the Black Prince. The Churchill 1 you'll be fine in. It's a pretty good tank for its tier. And then you have the Churchill 7. Now, the Churchill 7, well, it's not terrible, but it's very slow, and it took me 98 games to grind through to get to tier 7 in it, which is a very long time, because the Black Prince, being a whole tier higher, only took me about 20 more games. Wow, I used to actually put effort into editing my videos, it seems, didn't I? Well, there you go. Number 3. 7 tanks you should consider grinding in World of Tanks Mercenaries. Let's move on to number 2. The Sturmtiger had just come out, and Visha, aka Gambit, had jumped on the opportunity to push out a huge game in the Sturmtiger, where we go from 77,000 being the 3rd top video from a top content creator to now 102,000. And just to put this in perspective, his 2nd ranked video is only 34,000. He got 102,000 views playing the Sturmtiger. And we're going to rewind this a little bit to see the first shot he fires in it, just so you can see the mayhem this tank does if you don't know what the Sturmtiger does. Boom. 1,300 damage to 2 tanks combined. Unbelievable what this Premium HE does. You are literally artillery, except it's direct fire artillery, so it's not as broken, which is appreciated. I wish all artillery played like this. They don't. Artillery, you get to shoot from the sky and not have to worry about things shooting at you. Notice how when he fired, though, he got spotted, and he's still spotted. He's in danger, and that is such a beautiful thing. Now, on PC, they had just had a Sturmtiger mode released at about the same time our Sturmtiger came out. And so a lot of players from PC were coming over and seeing this content for the first time, too. They wanted to see. They've got a Sturmtiger. We've got to see this. Boom, another shell in, and he splashes and kills the E75 and hit another tank next to him as well for a little bit of damage, but we didn't see who it was. But absolutely nuts stuff. Here's his most replayed instance. Let's take a look and see why it was watched so much. There's a Conway. Oh no. I think we know what's going to happen here. 1,500. Dead. Out of the game. Rest in peace, Conway. Gone. I'm going to have to get myself a Sturmtiger and maybe have a compilation. But I don't have one. So instead, we're just going to enjoy watching Gambit or Visha playing in his. Now we're moving on to the number 1 most viewed World of Tanks console video of all time. And it is from the legendary Beard Guys, who now have 104,000 subscribers. They do not do World of Tanks console videos anymore. They stopped probably 6 or 7 years ago. But these guys had over 20,000 subscribers from World of Tanks console alone. They were the biggest, and still are, the biggest World of Tanks console YouTubers of all time. In fact, they were faster growing than Awesome Epic Guys on PC. I mix those two guys up all the time, those two channels up all the time, which is why I knew this. Awesome Epic Guys, fantastic PC creators, some of the best, could not stay ahead of Beard Guys. Not that they were competing, but in my mind they were, because for a little while I couldn't tell them apart because of their names. But that is very impressive because there's more audience on PC, and so these guys did a fantastic job. Then they jumped ship, which was a great idea, because as you can see, they have 104,000 subscribers. They're doing fantastic, and they are still posting videos every day and getting decent amount of views. But we wanted to look at the most popular, and the most popular, again, was a niche video that no one else was covering. World of Tanks 10 Things You Might Not Know from 9 years ago. This video was valid at the time. The game was a year old. Nobody knew what they were doing. And we're just going to go ahead and watch the whole thing because it's only 2 minutes long.
Hello guys, I'm Don Tomo, and here's
Hello, Don.
things you might not have known about World of Tanks on Xbox 360.
Do tell us.
Now everyone knows you can zoom in using the left trigger, but did you know you can also zoom in further by clicking in the right stick while left trigger is held down?
People still ask me how to do this, so this is actually a thing that a lot of players don't know still, and that's because they're new to the game. We have a lot of new players because of the Cold War that are coming in and trying the game, and they don't know what to do.
This is called Sniper Mode 2. Okay, so maybe you already knew that one. Did you know you can also use RP when in artillery view mode to zoom in the camera on the enemy? Hello Mr. Leopard, that's a nice everything you've got there. 3. Tired of slowly moving your artillery view across the map only for the enemy to disappear before you get there? Hit the back button while in artillery view, select a square on the map with the left stick, and then click Y and move the camera straight there.
That's a
Now,
big
here's
tip.
what everyone should know. If you click in the left stick, it will enable cruise control, and your tank will drive as fast as it can until you hit reverse or click the stick again. 5. If you click RB whilst in normal view mode, your aiming reticule will lock on to any nearby enemy tanks that are not behind cover.
RB, this is another one that's asked quite often. How do you do that?
6. Now if you're sick of having to turn your whole turret round just to look behind you and exposing weak points on your tank, simply hold down RB, then use the right stick to look around without having to turn your turret. You can...
This is huge. This is the most, other than why to use the circle map, the most asked question on the channel. And also, what's the name of your book? But the most asked question on the channel is, how do you look around without your turret moving? In fact, in some cases, people call it an illegal mod. People are like, you're cheating doing that. No, it's just right bumper. You just hold right bumper, and that's it.
You can also use this technique for looking around corners. 7. If you've got half a clip in your autoloader and you want to reload, you don't need to fire those shells off. Just press right on the D-pad. 8. Now if you're getting tired of the same old minimap that only shows you a very small part of the battlefield, you can go into settings, look under the game tab, and you can select an alternative minimap that will show you the whole battlefield.
That is true. However, you can press and hold your back button to change it without going into settings to do it. And that has actually been a feature that's been in the game since the start of the game. And something that really no one knew about until my roommate told me about it. It's like, did you know you could just hold down back button? I'm like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, you can just hold down back button to change it. You don't actually have to go into settings. It's like, how long has that been in the game? He's like, dude, it's always been in the game. People just don't know it. And that's really cool.
9. If you have trouble seeing some of the colours in World of Tanks, you can hit start on the main menu or in-game to access settings, go to video, and there you can turn colorblind mode on. Once you turn colorblind mode on, this will turn the red team into the purple team, as well as tweaking several other in-game colours to make life easier if you're colorblind. 10. Now here's the big one.
This is
Did
big.
you know that you can actually pay for premium ammo and consumables using silver? If you go to your consumables and select premium ammo, and then click Y, it will change the currency from gold to silver. You can also do this with premium consumables like large repair kits or automatic fire extinguishers.
And there you have it, the top 10 tips, and I agree, those were fantastic tips and things you may not have known. However, you don't need to do this anymore. This last one, it's automatic default to silver now. And so if you decide to change it, you're going to be changing it to gold, so keep that in mind. But double check, because sometimes they switch on you. So make sure you're paying for your stuff with silver, unless, of course, you like whipping out your credit card to pay for your shells in World of Tanks. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. We just went through 10 videos, 10 of the top videos in World of Tanks console by top console contributors. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And I will be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.